The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel is the second book of the author. Now, I really enjoyed Station 11. It's definitely one of the better post-apocalyptic dystopian novels, but it's just really good in its own right. Almost a perfect book for me, to be honest. So this one, I heard it's not that great, but I still want to check it out because I heard that her third book, The Sea of Tranquility, has some Easter eggs in it from the first two books, so I wanted to read them chronologically. So The Glass Hotel focuses on multiple people as well, very similar in style, prose, and structure as Station 11, but it's not as interesting because we're mostly focusing on just characters working at different hotels, as well as a Ponzi scheme that blows up and affects a whole bunch of people. And it's like a giant rock thrown into a body of water, and the ripples sort of go out and they sort of smack everyone in the water, basically. So we're focusing mainly on Vincent. She's a young woman whose parents named her after a poet. She's working at a glass hotel called the Hotel Cayette. It's a really bougie hotel made with a lot of glass, but it's in the middle of nowhere in northern Vancouver, I believe. And you have to take a boat there or a water taxi, and rich people go there. And only rich people usually go there because they want, as the tour guide states, people want to be near nature, but they don't want to be in nature. So the hotel has all these beautiful amenities and restaurant and bar and everything, and the glass. You can look outside and see all the stuff, but you don't have to like live it rough. You can have it there to look at and maybe go on a hike, but a guided hike, you know, not on your own. And they do some boating and stuff like that too. So it's a really bougie place where she works, and her brother Paul, who's a bit of a drug addict basket case himself. He's got stuff going on. But mainly we focus on Vincent as she marries Jonathan Alcaides. He is a rich guy who owns the hotel and basically becomes his trophy wife. And she basically just lives off him until he gets caught for the Ponzi scheme. He has this giant fund that he was working on that was fraudulent, or parts of it were fraudulent, and that doesn't really get explored till the second half of the book. That becomes the more backbone, and it sort of like splashes out. It's really fascinating to see the different characters involved in that. There's victims, there's also culprits, people, what is it called when you're accessories to the crime. A lot of people that were involved, they knew about the scheme, but they were getting paid a lot themselves, so they turned a blind eye or they joined in. And so the first half of the book's a little bit slower because we're focusing on, Paul and Vincent when they're younger and a couple other people. And then as we bring in more characters, it becomes more interesting. And overall, the novel is pretty decent. It's not like super amazing, but it's really hard to make a really compelling ensemble novel that doesn't take place in like a flu-ridden, like super post-apocalyptic. So the fact that it doesn't have any of the sci-fi elements and it's still pretty interesting makes it a pretty strong book, but it's not super amazing. They try to throw some mysticism in there too. I didn't think that worked, but overall, The Glass Hotel is intriguing. I thought it was interesting just for the Ponzi scheme stuff. Other than that, though, it was okay. So I give The Glass Hotel a 3 out of 5.